And we are live. Hey,
Hey, everybody.
It is episode 10.
Episode
10.
10 already?
I don't have to do weird things with my hands this week. It's episode 10. We got 10 of these, I think. I can count to 11. Hey, I can count to 11.
Double high fives, brother. I can't believe it.
Welcome, hey Brian, I can at least count to 11. And 21 if you want to count my toes. Catch that joke.
So that means one of your feet has 6 toes on it?
Nope.
We're getting off to a bad start.
We're already in the tank. How's everybody doing?
Nuts.
Welcome, Wire Nuts. I'm DR Guitars, or Dave R, whatever you want to call me. And that guy there, he's Brian S. And we're the Live Wires.
We are the Live Wires. And the dogs are part of the Live Wires now too. Yeah. They're like, we're the Live Wires.
We got Shadow there and Bear there, and they're carrying on like retards.
They be carrying on.
Hey, you two, knock it off.
Hey.
All right.
Knock it off back there, you two.
Oh, heathen.
No, why don't you check out? Why don't you tell us who all is in the chat there, brother?
Oh, well, let's see. I see a Mr. Joe Hervey. I see Miss Chicken Guitars. Good evening to you. I see Mr. Bam Mozzie, Mr. Mozzie across the pond. I see Mr. Mark Dillon. I see a Mr. Mitch Haman. I see a Terry Himes and a Daniel Horsley and a Quentin James.
Quentin James!
And I see a Phil Mosley music.
Phil Mosley music! The Batman.
Let's see. I see Oregon Steve.
Phil's real name is Bruce Wayne. He just goes by Phil. That's his undercover.
Count. It's the Count.
The Count.
Let's see. Who else do I see? I see Terry. Let's see. I said Terry Himes.
You said Terry Himes twice. Then Terry got double shot.
Soda. Oh, they're Foda. I see Foda. Foda Pop. Hey, Soda.
Soda.
How you doing, buddy?
Soda.
And there's Mr. Shreddy McShredderson himself, Mr. R2R3 Locking
Nut. R2 in the house. Oh my goodness.
Dry Heat 480. Rob F.
Let's hear it for the Wire Nuts.
Yeah.
We love our Wire Nuts.
Thank all you guys and gals for coming out and hanging out with us this evening. There's David Ennis. How you doing, Mr. David Ennis?
Hey, David. What's going on, bro? Coolness.
Yeah.
While we wait for a few more of our friends to hop in with us here, you got any? Look at that! What's that? Where'd you get that cool shirt, dude? Oh, you mean it has youtube.com/the Livewire show on the back?
Hey, there's Wallet.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So the first shirt came in today or yesterday. So
where did you get that?
So this was Teespring.
Yeah. So this is our Teespring options.
Our Teespring shop, yeah, and that's the that's the wraparound logo there. I've got one of those on order. It hasn't shipped yet.
Yes,
but
and available in black, red, or navy blue, or
gray.
My favorite, which is known as heavy metal.
Heavy metal, yeah.
And then also the other design,
right?
It's just the logo there, and
yeah, just like this one. It's just like this one.
There's the heavy metal.
Yeah.
Oh, look at there's kind of like a gold top thing working. I didn't even know we had that.
Olive, yeah, it's like an olive.
Ooh, OD green live wires.
Yeah.
And baby blue, if you want, or bright blue.
That's a bright blue, yeah.
Bright blue. Yeah.
And
but
we also have another store.
Yes. Yeah.
We also have the T-Chip store.
T-Chip.
On the T-Chip store. We have it's the same logo, but it's got a different outline. So the logo,
the T-Chip store for you.
Okay. So the logo is going to be a gray outline, and we got a few other options. We also have hats,
the ball cap, and
we have the ball cap. We got beanies.
It's almost winter. Everybody needs a Livewire's beanie cap.
Or as our Canadian friends say, a toque.
Well, yeah, I told Ben Coombs earlier days, like, you mean a toque? I was like, well, I don't speak Canadian, dude, so I'm wrong with beanie. But
and we also have a
hoodie for $30. You can't even buy a hoodie for $30 at Walmart, let alone one with a Livewire's logo on it. And take your pick of color. I mean, we got
we got the bright pink
for the ladies.
For the ladies, and you'll notice on the T-Chip store that the sizes we do they offer a lot bigger sizes, and
you can go up to really large lineman size 5XL at T-Chip. So if you're a big boy or lady and you want to go big or stay home, they got you covered over there
with the hats. So all right, so with T-Chip, our margins in T-Chip were a little. I mean. I've put these the way I've priced these. I've priced these where we're not making a lot off these.
Like a buck like a buck on each one or something.
It's a little more than that, but I tried to keep things reasonable, as reasonable as I absolutely could, and still where we could make a few dollars. But just so you guys know, every penny we make is going right back in the show. We want to get rid of the cursed duck up there in the corner, up there above my head.
Must go. The duck must die. This is not Geico.
Yeah, this ain't Geico, guys. This is
not a Geico commercial.
We want to put our logo up there, not still have StreamYard up there.
Yeah.
So,
but they want like a couple $100 or $250 or something per year. So that's what
I'm not asking. I'm just saying, hey, this is why we're doing this. If you guys want to buy our merch, feel free to buy our merch. I mean, so
what else we got? You got any other news before we roll on with this awesome guest that we have tonight?
Well.
Before we get started, I see a few more buddies. I see Oregon Steve. I see Sixteen Brian. I see Waleed. I see Mark Dillon. I see Brad Miller. I see Rick Hefner. I see my buddy Joe, my little boy Joe out there. Rob F. Yeah. Everybody's jumping in now. So we should go ahead and just roll the guest out, I think.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. So keep your eyes peeled for some possible content. Oh, I do have one announcement. Next week. Possible content.
Could you be any more vague? There might be some possible content.
Some possible extra Livewires content.
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody knows I'm going to Vegas next week, and everybody knows that on Monday I'm coming to visit you. They just don't know.
Do they know that? Do they know that you're actually going to be here in my house?
Yeah, I think we talked about that already.
Okay.
Well, maybe we didn't confirm it, but it is now officially. I have an airline ticket from Vegas because the calculation was it's 10 hours to drive plus however much the gas. Or I could fly for $109 round trip. Flying round trip for $109.
Flying round trip. So yeah.
So next, jump on a little plane and go down to Dave. Next, get me at the airport. But there is bigger and better things beyond that.
There are.
Discuss. These are top secret, and you will have to tune in next week. Find out what they are.
Find out, yes. There is definitely a top secret for next week. So, now that brings us to our very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, our special guest tonight hails from Baltimore, Maryland. Comes to us by the way of Pennsylvania. He is
got his little script.
Yeah, I'm trying to read it now. I can't read it. Oh man, I screwed up bad.
You ain't even had any bourbon yet. Come on, Dave.
Start over a little bit. I mean, still my first glass.
Deep breath. Take a drink. Take a sip, and then we'll just take it from the top. We'll edit that out later. We'll put it up for the replay. We'll just edit that out like that never happened. Okay, here we go. We're starting over.
All right. We'll start over. Smoke them if you got them. All right. Special guest comes to us tonight from Baltimore, Maryland, by way of Pennsylvania, with an impressive record. Recent 35-year anniversary. His only losing record is on the scales. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Skinny Mitch Haman.
It's Skinny Mitch in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's got the shades. He's all rock star on us.
Don't confuse me. Please don't confuse me with
gentlemen. It's Mitch Haman. Can we standing over here?
Stevie Wonder. I'm not Stevie Wonder.
Stevie
Wonder. Sorry, I stumbled hard on that one.
Well, you know, I think
that's all right, though. That's all right, though.
It was funny. It was good. We're just gonna leave that in there now. And when they start making fun of me for driving the bus off into the ditch, I'm just going to pull up that highlight. I'm just going to save that. It's going to be a running bit.
I screwed that one royally. I'm sorry.
Skinny Mitch Haman in the house, looking all rock star. What is going on?
Don't turn sideways. We won't see you, man.
I know. He's like, I have to move around in the shower to get wet.
That's it.
What is up, Mitch? How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing quite fine, if you might ask.
Like fine?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you guys inviting me over. I wanted to be on for a long time, and because I'm not from here, actually. Some people don't know what I'm talking about half the time. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. And
so, what year did you immigrate to the States from Australia?
Oh. I get it mixed up. Australia and the UK. I don't know. They're too close.
I mean, what year did you immigrate to the United States from Great Britain?
I am in the snack capital of the world.
Snack capital of the world? Yeah, you're like a
potato chip.
Well, you're near Hershey. That's near Hershey, right?
I'm about 50 miles from Hershey.
Yeah, they have a chocolate theme park. My kids and wife were just there, and they stayed in the park, and at the hotel inside the park, they pumped the smell of hot chocolate into the hallways.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
That's brutal, man.
That's brutal,
dude. That would drive a guy like me insane. I'm a chocoholic.
Did it smell like hot chocolate in the rooms? They're like, no, just in the hallways. I'm like, okay, because I don't know if I could do 24/7 chocolate smell.
That would drive me insane.
It'd have a diabetic coma.
I'd be like diabetic in like 3 days.
Why Waleed's like, why the sunglasses? Because he's being cool, Waleed.
See, I got the salt and pepper look going on, don't I?
He's just rocking it on, looking cute. Right. So, what's new with you, Mitch? We know you've been talking about trying to sell the house. You got any hot leads yet?
No. It's been about a month. It's only been about a month.
Or moving to warmer climate because you're in Pennsylvania where it gets frozen,
Yeah, we'll stay around here somewhere. Probably moving to trailer park. We want to convert to trailer trash. So.
Well, the nice thing about the trailer park is if you can just hook that crap up and move.
Oh no!
You don't even got a van. You just hook it up and drag it somewhere else.
You can't move these. They're double wide and. No.
Oh, the double wides. They're planted. Huh?
And some of them have more square foot than this house. Believe it or not.
Well, as long as you got a guitar studio, you should be good to go, right?
Yeah. And that Terry Hines, you're correct. They are shaped like the kisses. Yep. Around Hershey Park. Yep.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they are.
Streetlights. Yep.
I didn't make it that trip. That was the weekend that I was in Nashville for Summer NAMM. Was the weekend that my wife and kids went to Hershey Park. Yeah. So worked out good. They had something to do that weekend too. So, well, hey man, we got some questions here for you, Mitch. So everybody, all the little live wires out there in the chat, and everybody who watches on the replay gets to know you a little bit better. What were you going to say? The wire nuts in the chat. Yes. Our fans, the wire nuts in the chat. We like to make the focal point of our show our guest, and of course, everybody in the chat probably already watches your videos and sub to your channel. But if they're not, can you throw Mitch's link up there in the chat for us? And of course, it'll be in the description later on after the show on the replay, so everybody can follow over to Mitch. How many subs you got now, Mitch?
3.5.
3.5. Sweet. That's good.
No, I think last 282. Last I
beats me. That beats me. Beats this channel by about triple.
It won't be. I mean, you're getting up there fast.
Nah, we're just having fun. You know, we got buddies that tune in and watch, and we all have fun together. That's what we're trying to do. And if more people want to watch, that's more people having fun. That's the way we look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we got we got some questions here for you. So we have our typical guest Q&A session that we do with every guest on the show. And
I got my pen ready, my scratch pad, in case I can't figure it out.
You gonna take notes?
Yes.
Or in case I throw out like an algebra that we need you to solve.
I need my calculator. Where's my calculator?
Yeah, get your scientific calculator, because we might get technical. You're the guy that led the way on all that. Once Hangouts died, you're the one that kind of did all the R&D for most of us.
Yeah,
to try to figure out the next alternative, right?
Actually, it was this one and Jitsu. I tried.
You did the Jitsu for a while. You did that one, but you also messed around with doing the Skype and the OBS hookup.
Right, and actually, you can still do the Hangouts. The Hangouts is there. You just can't broadcast it. So
you can, we can hang out with each other. We just can't put it on YouTube.
Right. Well, what I did was I used OBS for that. I used the Hangouts to get some people in, and then I used OBS for that.
Well, Dave's gone real quick. I'll shout out to Jamal. What's going on, Jamal? See you out there, buddy. Mark Dillon. I see you, Mark Dillon. How you doing, bud? Thanks for joining in the show. So, Mitch, first question for you is try to learn more about you, buddy. How long have you been playing guitar, and who or what was your inspiration to try it?
Okay, to be honest, back in probably in the mid '60s, probably.
Wow, really?
Maybe before that.
That's when I was born, in the mid '60s. You're not that much older than I am. No.
I was born in '55.
Oh, you are older than I am. You're 9 years older than I am. I would have never guessed that. I would have thought you were about 55.
I just turned 64.
Oh,
but I have mentality of like I'm very slow, so I have the mentality like of an 18-year-old. So
yeah. Well, I have the mentality of a 13-year-old boy going through.
A neighborhood child friend. He had a little acoustic plastic guitar. And just remember playing that. But I think what really got me when wanting to play when the James Bond movies came out, I was 10 years old back then. We walked 10 miles, and the James Bond theme got me.
Oh, the James Bond theme. Yeah. I love that song.
But I think I got my first guitar when I was 14 or 15. It was like a K guitar, if you ever heard of K.
Yeah, K, yeah.
It was like $15. I don't even know if it was new. And the action was like this. You know. How old were you again? 13?
14
or 15.
So about 1970, 69, 70.
Exactly.
Summer of Love.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well,
you were about 7 years too young in the Summer of Love, weren't you?
By yourself. What can you do by yourself? But anyway,
Summer of Love yourself.
Summer 42. I was trying to think of that movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good movie. John Belushi movie, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking it's something different.
No, it was a bit come of an age. It was Jennifer. I can't remember. Some of the guys in the chat room. I know Dale. Dale will know. Dale Palmer, who was in Jennifer. I forget her last name. She was a real
hottie.
Oh yes, back then.
Hottie back in the day. So what was your so you're gonna just say James Bond theme song was your inspiration to try the guitar? Or was there an artist or a particular group or somebody? Nope, James Bond theme song was it.
Everybody, Hendrix. Everybody's trying to play Hendrix, and there was some people just can pick up the guitar and in no time they're mastering it. Me, I'm still trying to learn how to play a chord after 6 years, whatever.
I'm right there with you, Mitch, and you got your like a zillion times better than I am. So don't sweat it.
No. And everything was Hendrix back then, and
so you were still like a junior high or maybe early high school guy when you picked up the guitar. Was your family supportive? Were they like, yeah, do it, kid, you're keep you out of trouble or whatever? Or were they like, oh, turn that racket down?
They were all right. They say play a song all the way through, which to this day I can't play a song all the way through, but
I could play a couple. Well, I mean, not the leads. I can't play lead guitar, but I mean,
the only thing I can do is play leads. I can't play.
I could fake my way through some Malcolm Young.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Well, so you already kind of answered my second question. You said that your first real guitar was a K. Was it a S style or a Les Paul style?
I think it had one pickup.
What color was it?
It was like
I take it you still don't have it.
Oh no.
Okay.
But I had a Univox, was big back in the day. I had a Univox Les Paul, which probably it may be worth something today if I would have still
would have kept it.
I had a Univox amp, and I think it was a tube amp that had the head and 12-inch cab, heavy as anything, and but it didn't sound good,
Heavy and didn't sound good. The perfect combination for every amp.
I had a custom amp. If you remember those custom amps, they had the plush cabinet, had 215.
Yeah. I think Phil McKnight has one of those.
It was good for real clean sound.
Yeah.
And then I had a big, like I don't know anything about pedals, but the few pedals I had was a big muff, big muff, and maybe a Crybaby back then, or some.
That's probably about all you needed back then.
Yeah,
because clean, you could get distortion or way crazy distortion with the big muff. You could just turn the fuzz all the way down and just get a little crazy boost out of it, or what, right?
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, I couldn't play it back then, and
didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. So let's move on to the next part of your musical journey. What was your first
Jennifer Aniston. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oh no, I didn't say your favorite porn actress. No, wait, she was a porn actress. She was in Friends. I know. Jennifer.
Right.
What was your first album that you had?
Oh,
first album that you owned. Who was your first group?
I had so many, but I would only buy it for an album for like one song. I'm not like.
You wouldn't get the 45 because when I was a kid, you could get a 45 for 99 cents.
I did get
the 45.
I did get a few 45s, but I would buy an album just for the one song or two songs or something like that. And I'm not like Johnny Bean and those guys. I mean, I was pretty much a baseball fanatic back then, not now, but back then. But did
you play ball?
No.
Just
I tried to, but they gave me candy not to. But
you couldn't hit the curveball, so they were like, "You're out, kid."
Sports, I wasn't very good. I mean, every now and then I get hold of one and I'd hit it to the pitcher, but so I'm
hit it back to the pitcher. Yeah, bunt. You could bunt.
Yeah.
Well, you were trying to bunt, but you were good at being able to bunt when you weren't trying.
I wasn't good at anything. Running, maybe.
I bet that's not true. Everybody has a God-given talent. I believe that.
Yeah, but all the girls.
You don't remember exactly. I mean, there was no one album that you bought when you were a kid and you were like, "This is my music."
I've had some Hendrix albums. Do you remember 10 Years After, Alvin Lee? You remember that? 10 Years After.
Mm-hmm.
I liked his style of playing. I liked him, and I did the one Jeff Beck album, and I didn't have a ton of albums, maybe 30. I think Led Zeppelin, House of the Holy, and
cool. Well, you were a young man when the British invasion was full freaking on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Well, let me ask you this. Let's segue away from the music. tell us something that's something else that you like to do, another hobby or something you do with your wife, or travel, fishing, hunting, boating, snowmobiling.
Believe it or not,
I like to do that we don't know about you.
I was real heavy into bass fishing in the mid 90s.
Yeah, me too. I used to
5 or 10 year period or something, maybe a little less. I bought a couple.
You had the whole Ranger bass boat and all the rods.
Just cheap
well,
stuff.
You had a bass boat and all the
yeah. But I didn't do it.
Rangers cost more, like you could get a Corvette.
Oh my God, $30,000 or whatever. I don't know. I mean, you pay a lot of money for it.
Ranger bass boats are like $50,000.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine does it professionally, but I can't.
Oh, really?
No. So, and I hardly ever fish at all now. And then my wife, we like to do probably eat and go to movies. We see a lot of movies.
You're a movie buff. You like to go to the theater and watch them in the theater, get the big theater experience.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, Zach Thong, I see you out there, and Krell Bar's in the house. What's up? Dwight Bailey, I see you there, Dwight. How you doing, buddy? Dwight Bailey's got the most amazing guitar collection. Good Lord. We got to get Dwight on just so we can look at his guitars, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow, man. So let me ask you this next question here, Mitch. You, like Dave and I, are a Helix owner operator. What brought you over to the dark side?
Just like not even a bucket list. Me and Frank C. He comes to these chat rooms a lot, and he's one of two people that he lives really close to me, and I met him in person, and we just went to Guitar Center one day, and I said, I'm going to get it. I just said, I got the Helix floor, and he got the Stomp.
Okay.
I mean, cool. It's like I don't bother making my own patches. I got some of the
you've downloaded or purchased.
Some few and.
I've got a few Dave sent me. Dave sent me some that he purchased and actually gave me. That was very nice. I'm not going to say that. That's on the down low. I guess it's not on the down low now. It's on YouTube. Oops.
But there's so many good ones. I mean, you go on the Line 6 site, you can download, and all
the ones you gave me came from the Line 6 custom tone. I mean, they were
you'll just, some of them aren't real good, and some of them are, and then
I covered it, Dave.
I said I don't bother.
Some of them suck. Some of them are bad, dude. I downloaded one the other day. I was supposed to be a certain artist, and I was like,
because when you're trying to get a Kiss sound, right?
I am. There's one guy on YouTube that has Ace Frehley's patch for Ace Frehley tone that is spot on.
Jason.
He plays in a band. His name's Jeremy.
I mean Jeremy. I'm sorry.
He plays in a cover band that's actually playing at the Rio in Las Vegas next week. I'm gonna make him talk to the guy in person.
Okay.
But, he said he'd send me his patch. So he's an Ace Frehley guy, and
he's an awesome guitar. I don't have to. He's an awesome guitar.
Oh, dude, he can shred. He can flat out shred. Yeah, he's great. And they're playing. I can't remember the name. 175 Club or something like that inside the Rio Casino. And they have like a 90-day gig.
Rio, that's where
6 nights a week or something.
Penn and Teller at, yeah. That's where I saw them at. Yeah, they've been there for years.
Kiss, please, Joe Harvey's like, no Kiss. Sorry, bro. That's never gonna happen on with me, right?
But I was all right.
So
I mentioned to you real quick about Eric Broadband. I bet you he can definitely come up with a
if he doesn't already have one, he could
already have one, right?
Good, yeah, he's the man. So kind of like me, the Helix makes life easier because I don't have to go down the amplifier cabinet pedal.
See, I know nothing
anymore because I have so many amplifiers to choose from, and Dave and I both have discovered that. With a lot, there's probably half a dozen cool amps on there are the ones you're going to want.
Just put the rev on anything, it's going to sound good.
The Rev, the Cali Rectifier, the Brit 2204, which is a JCM 800.
Okay.
There's a couple of other cool ones on there, a couple of cool Fender ones on there, but most of the factory presets they all sound the same to me.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
if you tweak them, you can make them.
You have to tweak them. Yeah, you have to tweak them for sure. Well, let me ask you this next question, Mitch, and we'll get moving on here. If you could possess anyone else's talent for 24 hours, who would you choose? Doesn't have to necessarily be a guitar player. It could be anybody else that, and alive or dead. If you could have their talent for 24 hours, who would you choose?
Well, I'm not going to say John Holmes for sure. So
Somebody said out. I think that came up last week.
You know what? We have all these stars. But some of the people here on YouTube, I mean, I'd love to play a tenth as good as Robert Baker. I mean, he's one of my favorites. Robert Baker.
Heavens, yes.
I mean,
amazing.
And then Cameron Cooper, who's going to start, if you're familiar with him, he's going to start giving Skype lessons.
RJ Ronculio, is that how it pronounces it? Like, that guy's amazingly good, too.
Yeah, just anybody that, and I'm trying to learn a little bit from everybody. See, my thing is, I want to prove that just because you're older doesn't mean you can't learn, you can't improve.
That's what my channel's all about, too. It's like I started off about the same time, a couple of months after I got my first guitar, which is about 3 years ago now, maybe 2.5.
So you never played before that, huh?
When I was a kid, I had guitars, but I didn't. It was after I was in my 20s and I'm working 12 hours a day. I didn't have time. I bought them because I wanted them, but I didn't have time to learn how to play them. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, there's people that buy, collect them, and don't play at all.
I had 2 or 3 different guitars and messed around with them and learned some songs, but then I didn't have time for them. They got sold, and I thought I'm never going to be able to do that. And then finally, what I told you in the green room earlier, a few years ago, I got really sick, and I'm like, you know what? I got bucket list items. I'm going to try this. I'm going to at least try it, see if I could do it or not.
I mean, I always went back and forth.
I can't do it, but I'm still trying.
All right, there was periods where I hadn't touched the guitar in 10 years, and I get back into it. But I'm into it. I committed myself 4 years ago, 2015. I got, my employer, I have a 401k at 59.5. You can take some out without getting penalized.
Mm-hmm.
I took some out. I got myself a Fender American Strat Deluxe, which is still probably it might be my best, my favorite guitar. It's between that and Les Paul, I guess. And
that blue Les Paul. We'll look at that here in a minute. So your answer was basically Robert Baker.
Yeah, I love he plays. Yeah,
man, if I could play like Robert Baker, I'd be sad. I'd be perfectly okay with that.
He's just so talented.
He can play anything. Yeah.
I mean, I bought his lesson pack, but I'm
waiting. He's got a new one coming out. I'm waiting. I'm not a Patreon or whatever, but I'm a member. I'm a member of his YouTube page, whatever that right. So, all right. This is the last question for Mitch. This is the standard deserted island question, Mitch. You're going to be.
You already know part of the answer.
Yeah, you're going to be stranded on the deserted island. So, but you do have electricity, so you get to take one guitar, you get to take one amp, you get to take one pedal, right? But that could be your Helix. You get to take one album, so you never really narrowed it. So you get to take one album. You got to pick one, and one miscellaneous luxury item. What would you take to the island?
The Fender Strat.
Fender Strat. Okay.
Can I take the Helix? Does that count?
Yeah, that could be your pedal.
Right.
Well, that could be your pedal and your amp if you wanted to be. Right. Well, why don't you do this? You could take the Line 6 Power Cab as your amp.
Which I don't
along
have.
With your Helix. Like
I'd have to borrow from you.
Like I got, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So then you need an album.
What's the one with
go to when you gotta hear your music. It's like
Led Zeppelin House of the Holy, maybe.
Oh, that which disc is that? 3?
I don't know what it is.
Houses of the Holy. No, that's on Physical Graffiti.
Physical Graffiti, the one with all the windows, like
Physical
apartment
Graffiti.
building on the cover. Yeah.
Which is the one with Stairway to Heaven? Is that the? Does that have
That's
Stairway?
4. That's 4.
That's the one.
It's food over still.
That's the one I'm at. I think I drew that. Or that drew that
Sozo album, whatever. Or
by the way, now that you just mentioned that, Dave, this is kind of interesting. So that was in the news again because they were back in court.
They are, yep.
And I went and listened. There was a YouTube video that had "Stairway to Heaven," and then they cut into the part of the. Is it Sweet? Is that the name of the band? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was like
Sweet or something like that.
Yeah.
And listen to the beginning of their song sounds nothing, but there literally is a little bitty section in their song that sounds almost note for note for the beginning of Stairway to Heaven. And the interesting thing is that band apparently at some point in time before Stairway to Heaven came out opened for Led Zeppelin. So I don't know, man. They might be out some cash. They might, if the jury hears that, they might be out some cash.
I think I have to go with Crowbar on that. Just get the complete Led Zeppelin box set and call it a day.
Yeah, I have. What do I have? What's the one I have? Oh, shoot. I can't remember the name of it now. Doggone it. I have a 2 CD set that also has a DVD.
Is that Song Remains the Same?
No.
See, I had the 8-tracks back then. 8-track.
I'll think of it here in a minute.
Nice.
Or I'll go over there and grab it because it'll drive me nuts if I can.
8 tracks, man.
Brian, I had a 75 Chevy van, and it was customized. It had a bed in the back.
Oh, you had a chick van.
He had the shaggin' wagon, man.
You had a disco van.
Well, that was a shaggin' wagon.
It had shag carpet in it.
It did. It did.
It's a shaggin' wagon, dude.
It was a dragon wagon, man.
Yeah.
No, shaggin' wagon. Because you got the shag carpet and you got to go shagging in it.
And if I wasn't using it, somebody else.
You had speakers in the back and lights and everything. And
I had a
disco ball.
I had speakers built into the bed in the back. It was on the bottom there.
So you get the extra. So you get the bass thump.
Yeah.
You'd have the bass thump, right?
But there's old 8-track players. It would, like, one song you could hear bleed over. You're playing one song, but you could hear another song.
The other track could be bleeding over through it.
Yep.
Your 8-track player was shot.
Yeah.
the heads were shot.
It wasn't top of the line, but
these kids in the chat, they have no idea what cleaning your heads means.
No, and it doesn't mean taking a shower. You
got to run a head cleaner through that, Mitch.
Well, actually, I did get my head cleaned a lot in that band. I mean, the the 8-track.
The shaggin' wagon.
Yeah.
Oh my God! See what just happened?
That's exactly right, Kalen.
The shaggin', the Mitch, the get in the back bed shaggin' wagon.
Well,
hey. Put your
I can tell you. Hey, I can tell you from firsthand experience that would have been a lot better than some of the cars I've experienced.
Hey, let me tell you,
demagnetize your head, Mitch.
Let me tell you something real fast. My brother here just got out of the service, right? And he was in the Air Force for 7 years. It's like around 75, 76, whatever. And so he wanted to borrow it. He met somebody, right? And he had
somebody. It was warm and moving. It was
he had a 69 Plymouth Fury, if you remember the big.
And
car. Half the time wouldn't start. So he takes my van, I take his, and I'm there partying with my friends. And it wouldn't start. I'm with his big boat and it wouldn't start. You had to get in there and play with the butterfly to get it to start on the carburetor. Back in the good old days.
You were choking it by hand.
Yeah.
Choking the chicken.
Well, that was when I was in the van. Never mind. No, it's just.
Well, we got totally off the track. By the way, you're still supposed to tell us which album you're going to pick.
I just said that whatever that one was.
Whatever that one was stomping in the back of the van.
Stairway to Heaven.
That album. Okay, we'll just roll with that.
Yeah. And
I don't know the man. Yeah. The Dragon Wagon Thump 8-track mixtape.
I had curtains on there.
One luxury item, and there's no point to take the van because there's no. You could sleep in the van.
Well, if I couldn't take my wife, I'd say it'd be Jennifer Aniston.
You could take your wife.
Yeah, you can take your wife.
But you already
You can
said
take your
Jennifer
wife.
Aniston, so now the problem is let's hope your wife doesn't watch this later because she's going to be like, "Oh, you
No, I
chose
mean,
Jennifer Aniston over me."
if I
No,
could,
he did throw the disclaimer in there first.
He said,
No, I
"If I
heard it.
can't take my wife,
right.
I would take Jennifer."
If I can't, that's the disclaimer.
And you can take your wife as your luxury item.
You can cut this part out. YouTube does have a cut feature where you can cut some of it out.
We don't
The problem
edit.
is if I edit the video, we lose the chat, which is the most.
That's right.
fun.
You're right.
The best part of the replay of this show isn't watching the people on the screen. It's just reading the chat as it scrolls by. The only reason anybody ever watches this show after the fact is to read what's going on in the chat.
No, I
So-
watch it after the fact because I can't. No, I do because I can't stay up that late sometimes.
Can't stay up that late.
Then my wife, I gotta watch some TV with her once in a while.
We're old, Like it's about 10 o'clock. We got to go to bed. We got to get up in the morning and plow the field with the horse.
Yeah, I gotta. I'm like you said, we're old. And, if I got the chance, and I got to go then. Wait a minute, that
Right.
didn't come out right.
No. We'll just leave that lie like it was.
Yeah.
All right, that pretty much brings us to the end of the Mitch torture session known as the guest Q&A. So we will be moving on.
Wait a minute. Kate, Chicken Guitar said she had a question for Mitch.
Well,
was your
fire
question,
that bad
Dylan?
boy up. What is that question?
I think she's familiar with my area. Well, I mean, she lives in Maryland, but I think she's even
Dave
familiar
asked the
with where
question.
I'm
You
at.
said you had a question. Ask it.
Yeah, what was it? I mean,
What's the question, Dave?
I don't know. She said
do you
she just
mean?
said she had a question for Mitch. I'm waiting for her to pose the question.
Tell it to him, or was she going to put it in the chat?
She just said she has a question for Mitch.
oh, she didn't
I'm
ask.
waiting. She didn't ask it.
Oh, she wants to know. Okay, here's the question. I found it. It just popped up. So I'm going to show the question.
Oh,
Chicken Guitars. Oops. Chicken Guitars wants to know, was he in Maryland as PRS started up?
me?
Yeah,
What-
you.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
Yeah. No. Guitar Hack. Was Guitar Hack in Maryland? Yes, you.
Yeah, I was in Maryland. I've been in. Well, I'm from Maryland, but I've been in Pennsylvania for 25 years. So that was he
Okay.
started off
So
way
you're a
before
Steelers fan.
that. No, I'm not.
don't do
Colts. We had a team called
Baltimore Colts have been in Indianapolis for
You-
like 30 years, man. It's
You know
just
all-
so you know.
You know all about that. I saw Giant.
Yeah, I know. I'm a Colts guy.
And they were. It was the way they did it in the middle of the night. I mean, the old man, not the.
You know what? Yeah, the old man, he's dead. You know what Baltimore should have done? They should have just built the damn stadium if they wanted to keep the team. That's what they should have done.
That's how we got another. That's how we got the Ravens.
Yeah, if you wanted to keep the Colts, you ended up building the stadium anyway. All right, we digress. All right, we are moving on now to the next segment of the show. This is where the old guys like Mitch and I get to go use the little boys' room because it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Dave to actually get to speak. And this week we are going to talk about Dr. Dave's tips and tricks, and we're going to do fret leveling too. Last week he showed us how to level the frets up, but today he's going to show us how to work down there on the high end of the neck, I believe. Is this correct, my brother?
Yes. So, last week we talked about taping up the fretboard, and we talked about getting the frets all level. Once we get the frets all level, I like to put a fall away in, and what I do is the fall away usually starts around the 13th or 14th fret. So what I generally do is I'll take a piece of my painter's tape, and I'll start covering at the 12th fret, and I'll cover one layer at the 12th fret. And then I'll come back to about the 9th fret, and I'll put another layer, and I'll come back to about the 7th fret and put another layer. So basically what I've done is I've built up a small ramp of tape, just the thickness of the tape. It doesn't take a lot. Then go ahead and mark your frets and then level away. Once you start wearing on the 13th or 14th fret, then you've got a fall away. You've got a fall away built in. So that way you can get your lower action, or as low action as possible. And it's just the same thing. You just You use your beam and your sandpaper. Do the same thing that you did on the entirety of the neck, but you're just putting a small angle on these last half dozen frets or so, and it's going to angle this way. And you'll notice it once you get it, and once you get it done, you come back with your fret rocker, and you'll have one fret or one spot where it's got a high fret, and that's okay. That's what you want, and because everything else should actually start leveling down from that point. But it's just a gradual angle is all you want from about the 13th or 14th fret on out to the end of the fretboard. And that's called putting in a fall away. Fret leveling equal to yoga, true or false? Yeah, leveling's not so bad. It's when you start having to dress and recrown, that's when it gets to be in the tedious realm. And next week we'll actually cover leveling. Right now is a good time, if you haven't already, check for any fret sprout and go ahead and deal with that with the fret in dressing file. And yeah, but any time either before you start leveling or after you level, definitely deal with any fret sprout or any rough edges you might have with your dressing file. And really, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all it is to do in the fall away. And sorry about the pop there. My headset died, so I'm having to go to.
That's what happens when you forget to charge your headset.
Once you get that done, then it's time to start crowning. And I'm going to tell you guys, again, right tools for the right job. If you're doing any more than one fret job, these things right here, the Z files, are absolutely 100% worth it. No, Brian, nobody said anything about that. The Z files from StewMac, these things are absolutely worth every penny if you have to do more than one fret job. If you have to do one fret job, a 3-corner file, you can do it and get away with it, and it's maybe not pretty, but yeah, the Z file is a lifesaver. It makes doing fret work a breeze. And if you're anything like me and you have more guitars than you probably should, you're gonna have to do this at least a few times. It's gonna cost. You can catch them on sale, Krell Bar. They put them on sale a couple of different times a year.
Pretty sure everybody watching the show has more guitars than they need.
So you can get them for about $80. And then that's the time when you buy one of these guys. But this is just the Safe Edge, the 5081. And this is the one I like, right? Let's see. Lars, there's not enough information in that question for me to actually answer it. I can't answer that because there's so many different variables to answer that question. It's hard to say. First of all, I'd have to know what kind of guitar it is. I'd have to know what you did just before there's a lot of there's a lot of variables in that.
Is it you're talking about Larry's question here? This question right here?
Answering that question.
That question.
And Chicken Guitar says, "Send me your guitar. I'll do your fret leveling for free."
Is that the question that you're talking about, Dave, or
Okay.
can you not hear me anymore?
So stainless steel frets.
I don't think you can hear me anymore.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mitch.
These will work on stainless steel frets.
You know what it
But
is? It's because he's
you're
in
gonna eat
solo.
through these. Stainless is hard. It's a very hard material.
So we can talk
And-
about it behind his back.
They're
Oh,
not
they can
hearing.
hear us.
They're not hearing us.
Chicken guitars says they can hear us.
Tools that you have that are for nickel silver frets, you're gonna burn through them. So in record time. So I mean, it's a diamond. These are diamond files. They will cut the stainless steel and shape it, but you're gonna eat through your files. So that's pretty much nuts and bolts there. So any other questions?
Can you hear us now, man?
Lost my audio.
You've lost your audio. You can't hear us because we've been talking about you for 10 minutes.
I still don't think he can hear you.
No, he can't. He's having trouble because he started off on his Bluetooth. He told me before we went live that I forgot to charge my Bluetooth, and now
He's got to change it. He's got to change.
He had to change. Yeah, we got you, buddy. We'll vamp for a minute. We know you lost your audio.
He's got to
That's okay.
change it in the settings on.
At least
here.
we could hear you, so everybody got the tips and tricks, and you didn't have to suffer through what we were saying this week. And he managed to get through the entire segment without mentioning the N-word, which I heard was a problem on Q's channel earlier today.
What? Well, I have to listen to it later.
Okay, well, we're talking about the word nut because last week we've been making fun of him on nut. Yeah. We've been saying because the last couple of weeks he's been talking about nut, and then you know how the live wires and the wire nuts are.
He's got to change his speaker in the settings here.
He's got to go into his computer sound settings and figure it out.
It's right there. Right here in StreamYard on the bottom there. In the
right. You know what? I'll message him that. We'll private chat him. I'll be like, change your headphone settings
to the head or whatever
in StreamYard settings. Hey, this is what he does when he wants me to read the private message. He goes, read the private message.
We need 30 minutes ago you lost it. We couldn't hear it.
He's like, don't you think I already did that? All right. How about if I drop you out and drop you back in? You're going to do that? You want to try that?
You might have to do it in Windows too.
Let me try something else.
Oh, we can hear you. You still can't hear us.
Yeah, he might have to do it in Windows first.
And the problem is that I can't move on to the next segment of the show because the next segment of the show is Dave's segment of the show. So we have to wait for Dave to figure out how to be able to hear us again. So what's going on in the chat? We will vamp for a moment. What's going on with you people in the chat? What's new with chat people?
Oh, Gary's in there. Hey, Gary.
I have a fun story that happened to me. I got up this morning and noticed there was a little over $500 in charges on my debit card that I didn't make yesterday. That's always fun to wake up to. So I spent an hour at the bank today.
So many people I know that's happened to, and I don't charge a lot of things. Very few.
Yeah. Well, I don't charge anything online with my debit card.
Okay.
So how they got and they got a room, they bought pizza, and they spent $75 at a Sunoco gas station. They got a $390 room that they've booked through VRBO. They like rented a house. They're going to get caught. They're going to get caught because I'm going to track you down.
One of the guitars I was buying at Guitar Center, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm using my charge card and it got flagged. Because
I already know which pizza. They bought pizzas. They bought pizzas. I already know which pizza joint they bought them at and what time they bought them. So if there's video, I'm going to go into the place and go like, you got video footage? I'm going to get me a license plate number, baby.
Dave's dropping out.
Dave's going to drop out here and try to drop back in. He's probably going to reboot his system. So we'll just wait on him here for a minute because the next little bit is, well, I guess I can go on with it. It'll be okay. What I'll do is I'll skip ahead. So we'll go ahead and do these let's see if I can get him back in here. Oh, there he is. How you doing, buddy?
I'm back. I got it.
You're back.
Yeah, something.
All right. Can you hear us now? Are you good?
Yeah, I got you. My headset died and I couldn't, no matter what I did, I couldn't get the audio back. So I just.
Six String Brian says that was him that hacked into my bank account. That figures.
Yeah, probably was.
He was going to buy another. He's got like an R9 and an R8 and an R7 already. He was going to get an RO to go along with it. Probably. That's
Mitch.
what was going on.
That was hard.
Yeah, I saw you up there. It's okay. It's all right.
He was doing his kung fu movie again.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I can move you two around. Let me see if I can switch your spot.
That's okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I can. Bye-bye. In France. And let me tell you, gang, this guitar shop is the guitar shop of guitar shops.
Boys and girls, get ready to break out your wallets if you want one of these.
Yeah, those are Joe Bonamassa guitars that he has. So this is one of those places that, like, if you have to ask, these are Iron Maiden played guitars. We're going to scroll through. There's a Jimmy Page, the Jimmy Page Sun Dragon. So this place is called Matt's Guitars. It's in France. There's a couple of Slash guitars. If you're into
that Mockingbird, oh my, that's sexy.
So what we'll do here, gang, is let's just go to the guitars in stock page, and I will scroll you through, and we will, if there's something anybody wants to see, just shout it out and we'll go look at it. So to start off the rotisserie, we have the Gretsch Billy Bow live from Texas Billy Gibbons guitar. We have a Tokai Les Paul owned by Billy Gibbons, and an S-Style California owned by Billy Gibbons, ladies and gentlemen. Just for hors d'oeuvres. And then a couple more Billy Gibbons guitars. Harmonia, I don't know that brand. Nash, and an Italia Modine, all owned by Billy Gibbons. Apparently Billy and this guy are buddies. Matt and Billy. And Nick Huber, Crowster, Joe Bonamassa Fender, and check out the Gibson L6S Malcolm Young.
Well, of course it has the neck pickup pulled out of it.
Of course it does. But he usually plays a Gretsch. This is a Gibson Malcolm Young.
And it you notice it's been altered.
Right.
I mean, the L6S is a Les Paul body style. Somebody's cut away the upper horn.
This is euros, by the way, 137 euros.
137,000 euros.
No, these are actually these are French. These are probably
those are euros.
No,
those
euros. That's euros. Yeah,
that's 137,000 euros.
Yeah, here's a Gibson Les Paul Jr. John Lennon model, a BC Rich Mockingbird Supreme owned by Slash, and a Fender parts caster from 1966.
That Mockingbird, oh my!
You want to go look at that for a minute?
Oh my, Seymour's.
Slash's Mockingbird. How about that?
That's got to be the Slash set, not neck through. Look at that, mahogany wings glued on it. Yeah, that's the. It
was played on "You Could Be Mine."
Yeah.
This guy got it in 2011. Or it was sold in 2011 originally. Keeps going. It gets better. Craig Ross ES345 from 1964. Les Paul Custom Shop Rat Rod. And a Billy Gibbons Les Paul Gold Top with the pinstripe. Oh,
That rat rod's pretty cool.
that Rat Rod is sick, dude. Look at the lightning bolt inlays.
Yeah, those are cool, man. Contact us for the price.
Yeah. I told you all these guitars were of the if you have to ask price, you can't afford it. Pearly Gates Artist Proof number 9.
So this is a prototype. Basically, this
prototype
is a prototype
of the Les Paul Pearly Gates,
right?
The Billy Gibbons, and then a 60. This one's called Giotto. It has its own name. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm sure somebody is. And then a Manson 25th anniversary. I don't know that brand.
That is a real deal. 1960 Les Paul. That's not a reissue.
Yeah, that's a real one. And this is a artist proof.
Right.
Pearly Gates. Look at those bad boys. All right. A Grosh guitars, semi-neck hollow. A K. That was your first guitar, Mitch, was a K. Gold top, Alex Trimble, and a Fender. Robin Ford is Spree.
Yeah, look exactly
double cut.
No.
Is that the one you had, Mitch?
Exactly like it. No, nothing like that. No. It was...
How about a Gibson's Collector's Choice number 3, the Babe, a Supro 1965 Holiday, or a 1956 Supro Ozark?
Those are kind of that one in the middle is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is, right? The 1965 Holiday,
almost like the Vibrola style tremolo there. It's different. But it's almost like the Vibrola style. Or the
Joe Perry Boneyard prototype.
Contact us.
Contact us. La Pepe. I don't know that guy.
Maybe
2014. Oh, and the Gretsch, a 1971 Malcolm Young Gretsch. Bam.
That's
how much does this La Pepe thing looks to me a lot like a Crouster, a Nick what's his name, Huber guitar. That looks like a Nick Huber guitar to me.
A lot like a Junior too. I mean, it's
yeah,
got that
Junior,
whole
right?
Vibe, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Boneyard prototype, Woody.
That's nice.
Cliff Williams, the bassist from AC/DC, Music Man Stingray from 1979, Joe Perry's 1964 Dan Electro. This is all in one guitar shop, folks. And a 1974 Maple Black Strat. Cliff Williams bass. Are you shitting me?
And by the way, that is signed. Looks like it's signed by Joe Perry. That 64.
Joe Perry signed it and dated it 8/7/17.
Yeah.
That's Joe's
birthday.
Bridge.
My birthday.
Oh, really? Cool.
August 17th.
64 Fender Jaguar, a 60 Custom Shop, and a 65 Olympic White Strat. That Olympic White Strat is gorgeous, man.
That is a pretty Strat.
Yeah, I had a white one time.
That's L series. Strat.
It's got the like real like discoloring.
That was a 64, right? On that white one, that
65. So
65. That's transition.
54 years old, man. That thing is.
Yeah,
let's look at that.
That's transition.
It's in cherry shape for 54 years old, dude. It's in better shape than I am.
Yeah, one little bit of buckle rash on the back.
Yeah. Wow. All original, it says. That's
cool.
There's a few more cool ones on here. Billy Joel Armstrong. What happened to my deal here? Martin and a Gibson acoustic.
SJ, that's Southern Jumbo. God, that's that SJ is nice.
Yeah,
I love SJ.
Look at that mustache.
Yeah, the mustache bridge. Yeah, those are that and the split. If you notice, that's a split saddle mustache bridge too.
Oh yeah, it is.
Straddle that thing.
Yeah.
R9 Joe Bonamassa Custom Shop. BB King 1967 BB King ES 347 and a Keith Richards prototype telly.
Oh,
Are you
yes.
kidding me?
I love that telly, man.
Yeah, look at that thing.
Hey, that looks almost like the Gomer caster.
Kinda.
Yeah, I want to tell
A
you. I
Gretsch.
really want to tell you now. A real good one.
1998 ES 295 Joe Bonamassa Dust Bowl, a 74 telly.
Custom.
Gretsch
No, that's a telly custom.
owned by
That's a
Billy
telly.
Gibbons.
Oh, look at that telly custom with a Bixby too. Oh, that's sick. That is sick.
No Bigsby. No Bigsby.
You're not a Bigsby guy. You got double Bixby here. Spruce top, prototype, Bonamassa, some kind of Gibson. What? They didn't even say what this one is. This thing must be outrageous. And then a Pete Townsend Strat prototype. What is that?
Oh, it's an old
Some
jazz
kind of Gibson.
box. It's an old jazz box. Look at that. Arch top. That's cool, man.
I don't know who Dan Auerbach is, so forgive me on that one. A Duesenberg, Richie Sambora owned, and a Richie Sambora Fullerton.
Oh, that
Fullerton's cool. We said that in
Those
unison.
doozies.
Another Richie Sambora, another Richie Sambora, and another Richie Sambora.
That one on the end. It just
Which
looks
one?
Weird, man. The one on the right. The
Greco. Zematis. Greco Zematis. Check out the headstock.
Yeah, the headstock's cool, but
Yeah.
the body looks kind of weird.
Kind of funky. A Jimi Hendrix 63 Strat, a Bob Dylan 62 Strat, and another Richie on the left. Wow, that gold one. I'm not even
Aztec gold.
like that. It's a Bob Dylan 62. Joe Bonamassa Strat, a Springer, never heard of that brand, and a Husson Dalton. Springer's kind of cool. Different take on a single cut.
Yeah. That's weird.
Happy Jack prototype Gibson custom shop. And a Gibson J45 acoustic over there.
A J40, a slope shoulder J45 is nice.
Let's see what else they got. Here's a Robin Ford SG.
Nice. I like that.
Kind of
cool. I like the long Maestro.
And to top it off, they got a 1968
D45.
Martin. Look at the inlays on that.
Those D45s are sick.
59,500 euros for that acoustic guitar.
That's
looks to be in great shape, though, right? How about that shop, gang? Oh my goodness!
Like I said, you better be willing to break out the wallet if you want something.
That dude's got everything.
Yeah,
is that
cool
crazy?
stuff, though.
Everything in there went to 11. 11 figures.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything in there went to 11 figures.
Just like my amp.
That's absolutely crazy. So after the show, I'll put a link to that website if you guys want to go look at some of the really closer, look closer up at some of the cool. He's got so many cool Billy Gibbons guitars, man. They're just in that Joe Perry Boneyard prototype with the Bigsby. Whew. Man, if I hit the lottery, I'd be calling up Matt.
Right. Maybe you'll win a lot of money next week.
Well, now we're going to show you some guitars. We're going to move into this next segment here known as the Red Hots, and we're going to actually show you some cool guitars that you might be able to actually afford. So let's go. You've got the list there for tonight.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll, brother.
All right, let me get the first one pulled up here. So the first one is, I saw earlier in the chat there was a no Firebird thing going on, but I'm sorry, we're rocking the
Firebirds, man. So we got a 2019, guys. This is like brand new, almost brand new.
Listed mint.
Firebird and Cardinal Red.
Right.
Guys asking $11.50 and taking offers on it.
Right.
If you guys want a Firebird, this is
the Cardinal Red.
The red looks good, but this is a smoking deal.
Less cardinal red ones than there are the other colors.
The rarest color is white. Is the classic white, hands down is the rarest color, and then you kind of start moving into the there's like there's a few one-off colors, but like production colors it's white, and then cardinal red is up is like next on the list, and then you get into the pelhams, and then obviously the ebony.
He mentions a finish crack, but you can't really see it in the photograph, so it must not be very severe. So he's marked it down 18%. He had it at $1,400. He's got it at $1,150, 75 shipping, and he's taking offers. He's in Lafayette, Indiana,
and it comes with a Gibson hardshell case.
Yeah, you get the case that fits it right. For the bird, it's a monster. You need the case.
No, white is. They've only done white a handful of years, Brian. Try and find a white one.
Year.
Try and find a white one. They're much harder to find.
But I was talking about on the 19s. I think
on 2019,
cardinal red of the 19s than there are the other colors.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but it was a production run.
There's a black one. Yeah. I just don't. You don't.
There's three colors in the 19, I believe. Cardinal red, ebony, and or is it cardinal red, blue, and vintage sunburst? There's always a vintage sunburst. Almost always a vintage sunburst.
I'm pretty sure there was a pellet blue one, maybe.
So it was I think they only did three colors this last year, or this year, whatever.
Gotcha.
And cardinal red was one of the colors. So it's not that this year. It's not that rare, or for the 2019s, it's not that rare. And I mean,
what's cool about this guitar is it's basically brand new, and that's really pretty good price for an almost brand new guitar.
Considering they're like right at $2,000 brand new, it's almost half price. So
right.
All right. So moving on.
You ready to move on to the next one?
Yep, moving on.
All right, the next one is this one, I believe. Yes, it's this one here. And
that would be
an
ESP
LTD Viper
1000 series.
That looks to be in pretty cherry shape, and it's got a really cool bound neck.
It's
lots of abalone going on here, folks.
So we got
I'm just going to throw this out there because it's in this picture. This is a serious pet peeve thing going on here.
Yeah.
Why don't people clip off their freaking string? Why would you leave that hanging?
A lot of people do.
I know. I don't understand why you don't
like it either.
A couple little dings, but the price takes into account the dings. It's not perfect. I mean, it's not listed as mint. It's been played. It's definitely been played, but it's got a cool pickup set. So he's asking $450. I think I'd probably message him. Wouldn't you message him and see if he'd take a little bit less than that? Maybe take $4.
So both of you have played that type of guitar before? I never have.
I have not played that bridge pickup.
Just lower end. ESPs.
Played some of the ESPs. So it says it has a Seymour Duncan slug in the bridge. And I'm not familiar with that pickup. Are you familiar with that particular Seymour Duncan, Dave?
No, I am not firsthand.
Well, he's advertising it as a Dumax. So I'm assuming that is a metal type pickup. But anyway, what we thought was attractive about it was the price. I mean, it seems like a lot of guitar. You get the flame maple blackout top with all that abalone inlay, and probably message the guy. It's been on here for about a month, so at this point, he's probably ready to move on from it.
That's what they used to call me when I was a kid. When I used to play ball, hey, you Dumax.
Dumax. Dumax. You were hey Dumax. Okay, moving on to the next one. We shall move on to the next one. We told you these guitars were a little bit more on the affordable side, right? So this one is actually pretty cool. This is a pretty good deal right here. This is about $300 off, or closing in on it, right? So this one right here is a pretty neat little Jackson Pro Series HT6. And I think it's pretty neat looking, actually. Tell us about it, Dave.
Yeah. So we got the metallic black finish. It's a mahogany body, one-piece maple through neck with graphite reinforcement. So we're talking the Solo series, the Soloist series, same specs there. It does have a scarf joint on the neck. Again, same 12-inch radius.
Looks like.
Yep. Say probably Graphtec nut. We have DiMarzio, the CB6 bridge and the CB6 neck. I'm not that familiar with DiMarzio's, so if you guys know,
what's the
familiar with those?
What's the fingerboard wood? Is it mahogany?
It doesn't say. I would say it looks good. It looks almost like
Palfero.
Yeah, it looks like Palfero, but
It's got some nice figuring in it, though. No inlays, I notice.
yeah.
But
it looks like the light. It's either it could be walnut, but
Probably not
like
at this
Palfero.
price point. So this is excellent condition at the Music Zoo.
Oh, it's rosewood. It's rosewood.
Rosewood, okay.
Yeah, it's rosewood.
Dropped it 31%. So $850 guitar that's been listed for a year. They're like, we got to move on from this stock. Free shipping, $588. If you like metallic black and you're looking for,
It's a cool looking guitar, man.
it's a cool looking guitar. I really like that. Metal flake is not crazy over the top.
No, that's subtle enough.
Now it's Chris Broderick. Who's he?
Signature.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I know it. I know this. I can't remember. He's in a heavy metal band. Somebody in the chat knows who Chris Broderick. What? He's not in Slayer, is he?
No, I don't think so.
All right, somebody figure out who Chris Broderick is, and I will pull up the next guitar while you're out doing that.
Megadeth. For Megadeth.
I knew it was a metal band. Okay, so this will be the Mitch will like this guitar probably. Some of the people in the chat may not, but that's okay.
There's a few of us, I'm sure. That'll like
Megadeth.
Yeah.
I'm late. Sorry.
Thank you. So this is a 2-owner 1972 Les Paul
Custom. With the embossed Gibson pickups. These are getting much harder to find, and the prices are usually a little bit higher. This is actually a pretty good deal on a 72 at $3,250.
It's unique looking.
I believe the pots are. Yep, the pots are correct.
Are those what they call the witch hat knobs?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Let's see.
Everything else is good.
Yes, those are the witch hat knobs. Same knobs I have on my custom as well.
And there's the embossing you can see on pickup covers.
So if it's 2 owners, what, one owner uses it one week and the other one uses it the other week?
No.
It means that only 2 people have ever owned it since 1972.
Right.
It's a 2-owner. Yeah. It hasn't been passed around a lot. It's basically trying to.
Like the women in the back of my van.
Like the women in the back of your van, and hasn't been passed around a lot.
So it has been
1972.
refretted.
Less people played this guitar in 1972 than there were girls in the back of your van. That's what they're trying to say.
Right. So it has been refretted, and it had the only other thing that it's and the refret job just looking at the pictures that it looks pretty good. It doesn't look like some hack job did the
thing's in really
refret.
good shape.
It's in super good shape. The price is really good. I mean, it's priced to sell.
It's had the pick guard on it at some point.
Yeah. You can see the fading where the pick guard was, or where the pick guard wasn't. It's a cool. Yeah, guys, this thing is a cool.
Ah,
guitar,
those are
man.
are those the original pots?
Yes, those are the original pots in this thing. So, I mean, you can see the 137, which is CTS, and then the 7.2, that's the year, and then the second two are the week. So that's how you read pot codes. So 137, which is CTS, was built in 1972. It was made in 1972 in the 31st week. And yes, those are waffle back tuners.
Wow.
It is those are original waffle backs. I have the same tuners on my 74.
It's not a crack back here, is it?
No,
No, I don't think so.
no,
I think
this thing,
that's reflection. That's
Yeah.
reflection of the bind.
this thing's straight, guys. I mean, it's
So that's all natural relic. What's what
yeah.
we say.
This is all natural.
If 72 is your birth year and you're looking for a birth year guitar,
This
for that
is,
money,
and it does have the pick guard with it. So
it's been on here for 3 days. I bet it won't be on here for long. 32.25 with three. It's already got 3 offers
yeah,
in
I mean,
Nashville.
realistically,
It's got the pick guard included if you want to put it back on.
$3,000 isn't out of the scope. But even at 32.50, it's not a bad price for what you got there.
Well, if you're looking for a vintage guitar and you want something early 70s, I don't think you're going to find a whole lot better shape one. Now, that may
This
not be your
is-
color, but that condition's pretty sweet.
And to be honest with you, I actually I'm not a huge fan of the Sunburst customs, but this one I actually like because it's not the Clownburst where you have that really bright red around the outside.
Soda wants to know if it's a boat anchor. Does it say how much it weighs?
Don't think it does. I would say it probably is. It's going to be a heavy guitar, guys.
Yeah, it's probably 10 at least, I bet you. Back in the day, that's what they went for, right?
I mean, but that's
10 or more, 10 or 12.
yeah, 10 to
All right.
14. So, all
We
right.
got one more somewhat affordable, cool guitar. This is
Yeah.
kind of a neat deal here. If you want to go
Yeah.
pointy,
So here's a pointy
cut.
guitar. It's an
single cut is not
NJ.
your thing. This is the NJ is not New Jersey. Fill them in
No.
with details, buddy.
No, NJ stands for Nagoya, Japan. And this is a BC Rich. It's got a USA made Kaler. It's a Kaler Flyer tremolo.
On the Zebra, that red is so 80s.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Clownburst. Wallet. Remind me. I'll hit on the Clownburst. But
What year is this
this is
thing
kind
again?
of this is kind of a Clownburst. If you look at it, how the red's really red, and then it's almost a
Goes
hard
red
line
to
the
orange to, yeah.
Yeah. So
That bridge looks freaking brand new almost, man. Look
Yeah.
how brand new that looks.
Yeah, it doesn't give the year on this one.
It's got the roller,
yeah,
got the roller blocks.
yeah. I'm going to assume this is going to be somewhere in the 90s. Just because of
It's
the
got metal
NJ,
flake. I just noticed that it has
Yeah.
metal flake in it.
yeah, a little bit. No.
And the red along the edge here, the side looks like it's flaked.
Yeah, just a little bit maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Now this is a cool guitar, man. If you guys are looking for
I believe that's in the wood. This little imperfection right there. It's like a birthmark. I don't think it's a scratch. I think it's
yeah,
a
no,
little,
that's an occlusion in the wood, yeah. It's a spot. But it's still a cool guitar, man. These are
made in
pretty
Japan.
Yeah.
Look at the back of the neck's really pretty. It's kind of got that fade on the neck too.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's been played at all. Holy cow, it looks really nice. There's a little bit of chip right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's a little flake going on. There's even a little purple color working down in here.
That's obviously a mahogany neck. It's easy to tell that just due on the color.
Pretty guitar, man.
Yeah. That's a cool guitar.
Yeah, see the purple?
800
There's a little
bucks.
purple.
$800. I mean, that's a little high for
Plus 50.
Yeah,
but
plus
he's
50.
taking an offer. He's in New Jersey, so it's in the USA. Pretty neck. I mean, I think the neck looks pretty with the way the fade is done and everything on it.
It's not beat to death. I mean,
no, really. I just see that one little kind of chip right there.
Yeah, there's a couple little dings on it, but
you're gonna have that.
Nothing major, man. And you're talking it.
No date, no year.
No.
Do we see the back of the headstock?
Yeah, I don't know how to read the Japanese serial numbers. If anybody in the chat knows how to read those, remember it is a Japanese. So if you guys know how to decode those serial numbers, feel free to fill me in. But
pretty freaking cool guitar for $800.
Yeah,
and you could probably get it cheaper than that.
Yeah, I
always start it. If you don't want to go 20%, ask the guy for 10% off. So $80 off.
Yeah.
$710. That's a pretty cool guitar for $710.
I'd ask for 700 shipped. I mean, that's
it's got. Oh, does it not have free shipping? I thought he had free shipping.
No,
he wants
it's 50. He only wants $50 for shipping.
You'd offer him $650 then. See and he'll probably meet you in the middle. Yeah. If he doesn't do it. So
it's
all right,
a cool guitar.
Cool.
All right.
Well, that takes care of the Red Hots for tonight. We tried to give you some affordable guitars of different variety.
Yes, Lars, it was a bolt-on.
Yeah, it was a bolt-on. Yeah, it wasn't a neck.
It was not.
It would have been more money. I guarantee you, Japanese-made neck through would have been double that, probably. Don't you think? $1,500.
Nah, it'd be about the same. Maybe. It'd be about the same.
For a neck through?
Yeah, the NJs are they're kind of in a price bracket, and they're not too far, even the neck throughs. But finding somebody that's selling a decent neck through NJ it's difficult, man. Because they're usually beat. So
I can close that bad boy out. I don't need it anymore. So, folks, you know what time of the show that brings us to? The time of the show where I need to have a drink.
Yeah.
It's the time of the show where we bring on the circuit breakers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Or it could possibly also be, put his sunglasses back on. It could also be this. We don't know yet. We have to. Results are yet to be determined. But we're going to start the circuit breakers off tonight with All in the Name of Rock History. And let me go ahead and get the first one ready to go here. Where am I? Not see application window. Well, I'm having a technical difficulty for some reason that I do not understand, that I've never had before. For some reason, it does not recognize my photo, but we shall try again.
It's all right. We can just burn through it if you need.
That's okay. I got them here. It's just going to take a second. I don't know why it didn't see it the first time, but I think I'll be okay. So let me try again. Aha! So I'm not sure what happened there. We had a technical difficulty, but we are now ready to go. So all in the name of rock history, we are starting off with Dave. Go, please.
All right. September 29th, in 1984, Prince on the #1 single with Let's Go Crazy. Album was Purple Rain, and the movie was Purple Rain, simultaneously joining the Beatles as the only act to ever achieve this feat. So a #1 single, a #1 album, and a movie in the charts.
And the #1 movie all in the same week.
Yep. All in the same day.
Money, all in the same day. How much money did he make in that day?
I have no
idea.
That
one day. More money than most people make in their entire lives. He made it in one day.
And he got time and a half too.
And he was hanging out with Carmen Electra while he was doing it. God,
that's not such a bad idea. That's not such
Talk
a bad
about
life,
having it rough.
That's not such a bad life, is it? All right, moving on. So we got a couple birthdays here. On September 29th, 1935, Mr. Jerry Lee Lewis was born in Faraday, Louisiana. And in 1948, you ready?
Yep.
Mike Panera, guitarist of Iron Butterfly, Alice Cooper, and Blues Image, was born in Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida. He always did rock out those, the ES 335s?
Yeah.
He was a ES 330. Look, he's got my pet peeve thing. He's going to put his eye out with the guitar string up there.
Yeah.
All right, ready for the next one?
All right. September 30th, in 1961, after hearing 20-year-old Bob Dylan play harmonica in the studio for Carolyn Hester, producer John Hammond signed Bob Dylan to a recording contract with Columbia Records and scheduled a session.
So this week in 1961, Dylan got his first contract.
That's big, guys. That's huge.
The Washington, the Watchtower.
Yeah.
Not because of his guitar playing or his singing, because the guy heard him playing the harmonica.
But it was Bob Dylan's writing that really
made him the star. Yeah.
But if you think about it, without Dylan, we may not have had Hendrix. Hendrix may not have been as big as he was.
Or Bruce Springsteen.
Or Peter, Paul, and Mary, or you can name
Janis Joplin.
I mean, a lot of the 60s and 70s, or at least the late 60s and 70s artists
were born out of
born out of this guy, out of his music and his lyrics.
Yeah,
and he wrote way more songs than he ever recorded.
Oh, he wrote a lot of songs for other people.
That's what I mean. He wrote a ton more songs.
Hit songs.
Yes.
Yeah, hit songs.
Absolutely. So, and then in 1963, Sid Bernstein contacted Beatles manager Brian Epstein to inquire about arranging a U.S. tour for the group, which eventually led to Bernstein promoting the famous Beatle concert at Shea Stadium in New York City.
Yes.
So,
and he got paid.
Yes,
he brought them over. I believe he produced shows on all three of the Beatles American tours.
Probably.
Sid Bernstein did. Yeah,
probably.
But he was the first one to bring them over.
See, I'm old enough, Brian. I'm old enough. I can remember when they were on that Selvin show.
Yes, they cool. Played. Not me. I was a little. Well, I'm not even sure.
64. Was it 64? I
was born in 64, so I would have been an infant, right? And they played, when they came over, they played Indianapolis, where I grew up near, but I was an infant still, And my parents weren't into the Beatles because they were into Elvis and Everly Brothers. They were the generation before, right? So we didn't have a lot of Beatles in my house. We had Elvis and stuff like that. But this guy was smart. I mean, this guy was like, hey, these dudes are going to blow up over here. And they did. He got paid because they packed everywhere, and he produced a lot of those shows.
All right, moving right along. So now we're October 1st. In 1962, a group of likable California boys released their debut album, Surfin' Safari, from the Beach Boys.
Another landmark day in rock history.
Yes,
Surfin' Safari hit record shelves.
The Beach Boys.
It took over the planet.
Yep, for a short time, for a while. Yep. And then in 1966, Jimi Hendrix performed live for the first time in the UK when he jammed with Cream, which was playing at London Polytechnic.
And that's when him and Clapton became really, really good friends. And then later on, when Hendrix passed away, Clapton was really, really hurt by that. He felt like he lost his soul.
Big event. That was a big event, guys. And when I go through these, I try and pick out some really big, some major events. And then in 1973, on October 1st, Pink Floyd began recording the album "Wish You Were Here" at the famous Abbey Road Studios in London. So
they started what date? This is when they started.
October 1st, when they began recording in Abbey Road.
Gotcha.
And now we're moving on to October 2nd. And in 1978, there was an amazing new group introduced to us on this date. Formerly, they had been backing musicians for Boz Scaggs. Now, Toto had a hit song with their first single release, "Hold the Line."
Hold the Line. That got played. That still gets played on classic rock. That's a great song.
Exactly 4 years to the day later, in 1982, Toto released the single "Africa."
Wow.
And then in
That's actually the disc, by the way.
Yeah.
That's
and
a photograph of the
disc.
single that you could buy that was shaped like Africa.
Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1951, on October 2nd, Sting, aka Gordon Sumner, was born in Wallsend, England.
He had good hair when he was. Look at those cheekbones.
Yeah.
My wife likes cheekbones. That's why she married me. She liked Sting and she liked Adam Ant and me.
Probably David Bowie too.
Yeah, I don't think David Bowie had those teeth. I don't think.
But he also had the cheeks.
He had the cheekbones.
All right. So now we're moving on to October 3rd, which October 2nd. That was today. So tomorrow,
I know who that history. Is.
That's little boy Elvis.
1945, Elvis Presley gave his first performance singing "Old Shep" at the age of 10 in Mississippi, Alabama Dairy Show Contest.
10-year-old Elvis did his first ever live gig.
Thank you very much,
guys.
Thank you very much.
Think about how significant. Think about how significant that is to.
What if he got stage fright, couldn't pull it off, and never performed again? The world would not be the same.
And now we move. God, words are hard and the struggle is real. Now we move to 1988. Tomorrow, October 3rd, Guns N' Roses released the single "Welcome to the Jungle."
Welcome to the Jungle came out this week.
And then
we were all like, what is this? Well, actually, when it first came out, it didn't do nothing for like 3 or 4 months. True story.
I remember first time I heard it, I was like, what is that? That's awesome.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden they put them videos on MTV and it went.
It exploded. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then a couple birthday shout outs. 1949, Lindsey Buckingham.
Oh, man.
Who loved Lindsey Buckingham. If you don't know who Lindsey Buckingham is, you need to look up Fleetwood Mac. Guy's an amazing guitar player. He was born in Palo Alto, California.
Is there anybody that doesn't know who Lindsey Buckingham is?
Fleetwood Mac.
Lindsey, yes. Lindsey is a god, yes.
Plus, he had Stevie in the back of the van.
Yes, he did.
That. You got Stevie in the back of the van.
Not my van.
Rocking, don't let her rock it.
Not my van. That right there was a hard life.
Not the back of Mitch's van, but a van. Or maybe it was a tour bus. One or the other.
All right. And also in 1954, tomorrow is a very special day. Elite guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughan was born in Dallas, Texas.
Another world changer.
Another world changer.
And what gauge strings did he use?
Big ones.
13s.
That's what I hear. I think
12s or 13s.
Look how strong his hands look, dude. It's like crazy.
Yeah, that's just ridiculousness.
Look at his thumb. His thumb has muscles.
And then October 4th, which is Friday. Way back in 1963. Did you?
I saw him in that movie. What was that movie?
Yeah, Tommy Lee's birthday, October. Oh yeah, I forgot October 3rd. Sorry. Tomorrow's birthday is Tommy Lee. Sorry.
He was a good looking kid, and he did have good hair. There's no question that he had some of the best 80s, because that's not even like, that's just his hair. That's how I woke up in the morning.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that hair in like 1980? Right? In LA.
His wife wasn't so bad either. Well,
neither of them were.
Which ones? Which ones?
Yeah.
I got stories. I'll have to tell. One of these nights when we don't have a guest and Dave interviews me, I'll tell my Tommy Lee, Heather Locklear story.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, moving on. October 4th. Sorry, I screwed that one. I dropped the ball. My fault. October 4th. I dropped the ball. Oh, I dropped the ball on Tommy Lee. I forgot.
I told you to put Tommy in the list.
How
many times
I knew to do it.
Sure, don't forget to put Tommy.
I know.
Last week we missed the release of freaking Shout at the Devil somehow.
I know. Yeah, I don't know how we do.
All right, go on.
All right, October 4th.
Crew, we missed the biggest album release that they ever had. Okay, go on.
All right, so 1963, October 4th. Eric Clapton replaced Anthony Topman.
They got Eric. Look, it says Eric Clapton and the Yardbirds, and Eric's way back. You would think Eric would be the first guy. You would think this would be Eric, but no, Eric's way back here.
Right.
But look at the title. It's Eric Clapton
and the Yardbirds. Yeah. And then it is a little bit of a sad day. In 1970.
This left a mark.
Yeah, this left a huge mark. Janis Joplin was found dead from heroin overdose at the age of
27 Club.
Yeah, the 27
Club. Is she the original 27 Club member?
No.
Or was Hendrix?
Hendrix, I think. Hendrix. I don't
or Morrison.
I don't remember who went first. I don't remember who went first. Morrison, maybe? I just don't remember.
Maybe somebody in the chat will tell us.
Yeah, so I know somebody in the chat.
Crowbar will know. He knows everything.
Crowbar knows. Crowbar knows. Hendrix died in 70. Okay.
Yeah, Hendrix died in 70 for sure.
And in 1971, Pink Floyd played the first of 4 nights at the Roman Amphitheater in Pompeii.
Yeah.
To
and
film
then they made a video.
Well, they started the filming of Live at Pompeii on October 4th in 1971.
Imagine that show that night playing in the Roman Amphitheater.
That would be so.
I bet
cool.
I mean, the band themselves, they were like hyped up for that. They were like,
the acoustics in that should have been.
This is gonna be good. We're gonna have fun tonight, boys.
Yeah. And then in 1975, Pink Floyd had the #1 album in the UK with "Wish You Were Here."
Oh, again. So full circle.
Yeah.
We had the date they started recording it, and then it came out and went to
numero uno. That was in the UK. That wasn't in the US, but
but that's okay.
And then in 1980, Queen reached the pinnacle for the second time in their career with Another One Bites the Dust.
Doom, doom, doom. I was in high school, man. This was everywhere. It was not only in the discos, it was on the rock stations. It was on it was on AM. It was everywhere.
And to close out the week, October 5th, we do the Sunday to Saturday. So to close out the week, 1962 on October 5th, the Beatles released the first single of their career in the UK, Love Me Do.
What a monster hit.
Not only was it a monster hit, but this is a significant event in history. Think about it. Very significant event in history. Beatles released Love Me Do as a single in the UK. Thus beginning the British invasion, thus beginning the whole Beatlemania.
If this record right here flops,
you got no Led Zeppelin, you got no Pink Floyd, you got
none of the rest of it happened.
No Rolling Stones,
no Black Sabbath,
no Iron Maiden, no Judas Priest,
no AC/DC.
Well, AC/DC was they're Aussies.
No, they're Brits.
They're Aussies. No, they're Aussies.
Yeah, but they're all English. They all moved there. Their parents were from Britain.
But that had no bearing. Anyway,
what year was this, Dave, again?
62.
1962.
So bumping ahead 8 years to October 5th, 1970, Led Zeppelin released their third album, Led Zeppelin.
This is a good week in rock history, dude.
Oh, it was. It was smoking week in rock history. And then, fast forward 9 years, Queen releases the single Crazy Little Thing Called Love. And then we can fast forward to 1991.
What? That's almost
1991.
Yeah, we were all alive.
We were all alive then. So we're talking
Two songs, one on the cover.
Oh, well, 18 years later.
Biggest rip-off in history.
Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 debuted at number 1 and number 2 on the album chart. They debuted.
Okay, here's trivia. I'm not giving anything away. Here's trivia for the chat and everybody. We'll let the chat answer first. Which of the two albums, 1 or 2, sold the most copies?
I'll give you a hint.
What part of we'll let the chat answer did you not understand?
I'll give you a hint. It wasn't this one, Brian.
Okay, but do you know why?
Yeah, because of the tracks on it.
Because there's a song called Live or Let Die.
There's that. There's also
the James Bond movie.
Yeah, well there's also You Could Be. Which one is You Could Be Mine on? You Could Be Mine and Civil War, both on Use Your Illusion 2, if I remember correctly. Correct, right?
That's why
and Estranged.
Total
Estranged, yeah. Estranged was a good one,
Is
too.
that the last one?
And no, we got a couple more.
Okay.
And in 1940, we got a couple of birthday shout outs. 1943, Steve Miller was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Ooh, with the double SG 12.
With the EDS 1275.
Where have we seen that recently? We'll talk about that here upcoming.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. And in 1947, Brian Johnson, lead singer of AC/DC, was born in Dunstan, Gateshead, England.
That's a picture from 1980, right after they were like, "You're the new guy."
Back
right?
in Black.
This is when they were recording Back in Black.
Right.
You look at this. He's like, "I'm in freaking AC/DC. I'm in freaking AC/DC."
Probably the best concert I ever went to.
Man, I saw him. I didn't see Back in Black, but I saw the next one, For Those About to Rock, which was all Back in Black. And you, For Those About to Rock songs, like For Those About to Rock. Yeah, unbelievable. Top 3 concert. Burned in my brain. Can't forget it.
And ladies and gentlemen, that closes us out for this week in rock history.
Wow.
All in the name of rock history.
All right. So it's going to be my turn next. And this next segment is going to be called Hey Bear Man. So let me go ahead and move on to Hey Bear Man. So just when you thought that concession prices at concerts and athletic events and other events were getting completely out of control, this past Sunday at the Miami Dolphins game, a vendor charged a fan $724 for 2 beers. $724. Of course, then the vendor was promptly arrested after the fan received a text message on his phone regarding a credit card fraud charge. What happened was, as the vendor guy used an app on his phone to charge the guy's credit card, and he charged him $724 for the 2 beers instead of the little app he was supposed to use in order to charge the fan for the 2 beers. Hey, Bear Man, busted. So what makes it even worse is the Dolphins lost the game, so they're now 0-4. They lost 30-10.
It wasn't because the Dolphins are so good, that's for sure.
Talk about scalping.
The Dolphins now have the possibility of being the only team to win every game in a regular season and lose every game in a regular season, and beers are now around $350 a piece.
Hey, Quentin, he better have gotten a knobber with that one.
This poor guy's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Hey, Beer Man.
Crowbar left him a little light in the wallet. LITE, light in the wallet.
I would be slightly irritated. No, see, I thought I had it bad because my debit card got hacked for $500. This guy got charged for 2 beers.
Well, at least he had 2 beers to show for it, Brian.
Yeah, but he's like, wait a minute. He's like checking his bank account there. He's like, wait a minute. I drank 2 beers. How can that be? That cannot be right.
And
that cannot be right.
moving along, we have a little bit of sad, maybe
we have
news.
We have some controversy,
Controversy. Controversy.
Travesty.
David Lee Roth.
So David Lee is running his mouth.
Basically, come out and said that Van Halen is finished.
Done. I saw that.
Yeah, Diamond
Says they're
Dave
done.
shed doubt on Van Halen's future when he said last month he didn't know what's coming up for the band, and the years of inactivity have been personally paralyzing for him. And now, in a fresh interview with a Detroit radio station, WRIF, if you're in the Detroit area and listen, to promote an upcoming Vegas residency of David Lee Roth, he stated that he believes the band is now finished.
Wow.
Ask if he was bummed out that the proposal of the reunion tour got axed at the 11th hour this past summer. Roth replied, "That's been canceled a number of times. I think Van Halen's finished, and this is the next phase."
Man, I don't see. I mean, maybe they are finished as Van Halen, but how can Eddie Van Halen not ever play live in front of anybody again?
You got to consider Eddie's health at this point too.
Exactly. Yep.
You know,
more important, really.
And
they're not, and none of us are getting any younger.
No.
And Eddie has rode himself hard and put himself away wet, and I can testify to
more
that.
than once.
I was around him in a 72-hour period, and I don't know that I would have survived that 72-hour period personally, in his position. So
you and David Nestall have firsthand position.
Well, David Nestall has way more. I worked for the man for like over a 3-day period. David Nestall like hung out with it. I am nowhere near.
Not significant, Mozzie. Mozzie asked, has Van Halen done anything since the 90s? Not significant. They're like no album release or any really.
Well, who else?
They've done a couple tours.
Okay, but let's be fair about it. That's true. But what other of our late 70s, 80s bands that we all enjoy have done anything since then either?
Oh, Motley Crue had released a couple albums.
That didn't do anything, though, because people don't buy albums anymore.
I was going to say that this isn't the age of albums. So
this is the age to download the one song that you want.
Right. Van Halen's music's going to live on.
Oh yeah,
us.
it'll live on way past us. But
100 years from now, Eddie Van Halen will be like Bach or Beethoven. He's forever,
right.
till the sun goes red giant and the Earth no longer exists unless we're on other planets because we're taking Eddie with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Mozzie. Saints of Los Angeles was a food album. Yeah, it really was. But
that wasn't. You know what? For me personally, anything after Dr. Feelgood was kind of.
Well, I mean, there were some good cuts on the Karabi album. I'm
not saying all of it was bad.
No.
Los Angeles is a good song. I'm just saying that as a whole.
Right. Yeah, Maiden and Metallica Metallica's future is slightly in question as well.
Oh, well, that was a story we were going to do, and if Six String Brian's still in the chat, he burst our bubble. He stole our thunder earlier in the week on his Monday night show because he went ahead and burst the news that Hetfield is back in rehab, which is kind of somewhat shocking because he kind of seemed like he had his act all together, right?
Kalen, go pee.
Kalen, quickly. You want to get back.
Brian, go pee.
We're going to play that, name that rock star again, Kalen. Hurry up.
I have a solo cup here.
A solo cup?
You can use that.
The table. Was that in case of emergencies, in case you had to pee in the middle of the show, your old man couldn't hold on anymore?
No, not that bad yet. Toby Keith, that's what that stands for. The TK.
Okay.
TK.
We made him for him.
I thought it stood for Tone King, but
I sent it.
No, that would be TTK.
TTK. Oh, you sent some to Tone King?
He gave me some of these Tone King picks.
Nice.
Actually,
all right. Well, we're waiting. Oh, he did. Well, we're waiting for Kalen to go pee. We will move on to the next circuit breaker of the show. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Gene Simmons is making another appearance on the Circüit Breakers, and this time it is God of Thunder Stones. And turns out we now know the medical issue suffered by Gene Simmons of Kiss that forced Kiss to recently postpone several shows. Turns out the God of Thunder had to be hospitalized so a stent could be inserted into his urethra because of some pesky kidney stones. The God of Thunder's got stones, and they had to stick a tube up his God of Thunder wee-wee so that the stones would more easily pass. Now, if you watched last week's show when we discussed Kiss having to go off the road, we all speculated on how difficult it must be for Gene to be able to miss out on getting paid for those shows. But we have now discovered that may not be the problem for Gene at all, because reportedly in 2009, Gene passed some kidney stones and he sold one of them to a fan for $15,000.
Oh my gosh. Did he really?
So while Gene is passing kidney stones, and it's going to cost $5,000 hospital bill, he's making 10 grand on each kidney stone because he's going to sell them to fans. And who lines up? Hey, Gene, I'll give you 10 grand for your piss stone.
This is
absolutely
true. That's
Joe.
true.
Joe.
Oh my God.
Joe, I couldn't agree more. What a dick.
Yeah, no pun intended. Yeah.
I love the money back. Listen, you cannot like him. You can say he's a money grubbing whore, and he would be like, yep. Yeah. It's like they're gonna be like, Gene, you sold out. And he's like, yep, every night.
I mean, he doesn't come off like that when what was that show he had on cable with his wife and?
Oh, he's a goofball. He's a total goofball.
Oh, you're talking about Gene Simmons, the Family Jewels?
Family Jewels.
Yeah, that was pretty good, actually.
It was actually really good.
It was
can you believe that?
Scripted, but...
So, it's not funny that Gene... Because, look, that's his face when he's pissing out. This is...
Yeah, I'm sure.
Kidney stone. This is not part of the show. This is like, kidney stone effect. And then he's like, this came out. And then he's like, but I sold it for 15 grand, bitches.
Jimmy, that's wrong, but it's probably an accurate statement.
What'd he say?
Don't look at
I can't see the chat.
Oh, you should pull up Jimmy Biter's chat. Just pop it up on the screen. Pop it up on the screen.
All right, I'm moving. I'm trying to draw. Well, I don't think I can do it while I got.
You don't want to read it. It's. Ugh.
Yeah. I'm all locked up on this end, so we'll just be lucky if we can finish the end of the show at this point.
It's disgusting.
All right, so that was the
wouldn't surprise me if he didn't try.
Oh.
All right, so that brings us to the
or the corn.
Yeah.
Hang on, maybe I could get. Oh, okay. He's Jerry, he's gonna sell peanuts.
And that's disgusting. Oh my God! But yeah, you wouldn't put it past.
I'm purposely not gonna highlight that post because I don't want YouTube to take the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Okay, so that brings us to the last part of the Circüit Breakers, and we had a little bit of fun with this last week. So I thought maybe we would try it again. So we're gonna play. And name that rock star again.
Do we have anything on the
Crowbar? You are not allowed. Crowbar can win nothing.
So are we putting anything? Are we putting anything on the line this week?
Not well.
I was going to say what Crowbar said. I don't know ahead of time, so I didn't know it myself. But that's who I was going to say.
Well, we'll guess here in a minute. Let me look at who I've got on the list, and let me decide if there's any particular one. There is one that I will give a hat or a beanie or a coffee mug.
Okay. Just make sure you.
We're not there yet. When we get there,
Quentin James goes, "It's me. It's me."
So, who is that?
So we have Jimmy Biter and Krellbar saying David Bowie,
Me too.
and so does Mitch. It is
David Bowie.
is David Bowie.
No, that's not.
The cheap thing. There you
That's
go.
not. That's not David Bowie right there.
Yes, it is.
No, it's a mannequin. No, just
It's a mannequin.
just kidding.
Most of these are pretty easy tonight. That's why I said there's only one that's prize worthy. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Number 2. Oh shit. Well, I wrote that one.
Well, you screwed that one.
I screwed that one
I know
up.
who that is.
Of course, I already knew who that was anyway.
So that one I obviously fucked. It's Johnny fucking Cash.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Sorry
was
about that.
Cash.
I'm trying to just use my little thumb roller here, and I totally screwed it. All
All
right.
the train a rolling.
Number 3. This is what. Okay, so aside from Krellbar,
So Krellbar, if you know, hold off on your answer.
Don't answer.
I don't
You
know
get your
that.
choice of a hat, a beanie, or a coffee mug if you can tell us who that rock star is.
Jodie Foster.
It's not Jennifer Aniston.
Damn it, Krellbar ruined it.
Did he give it away?
Yes, he gave it away.
Already?
If he gave it away, then nobody gets the prize. Why did you do that for, Krellbar? Boom! What did he say? Who did he
Kurt
say?
Cobain.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. You're going to let somebody else play?
Never
All
a
right,
big,
that was the
never
only
a
one I
fan.
had that was a tough guess.
Michael Jackson. Quentin James, Michael Jackson.
All right, this is pretty easy.
Oh, I know who that is. That is easy. I'm not going to give it away.
Come on, somebody.
Madonna.
That one.
Oh, so he's got it again. He got it again.
Who?
Mozzie said Madonna.
Did he say? No, it's not.
It's not Madonna.
Krellbar got it again.
Who
Debbie
Krellbar?
Harry.
Said? God damn it. We're going to have to block Krellbar. He can't.
She looked the same when she was a kid.
Yeah.
Foster
Teeth.
Jane.
The teeth are the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the eyes.
In the eyes, yeah.
She was pretty nice back in the day.
Yeah.
She still
Very
looks
nice.
pretty good
She had a
for
little
her.
dental. She had a little orthodontic work done.
All right, who's that?
I don't know. British for sure.
Yep. Big time British invasion.
I have a guess. I'm not going to give it away. I'll wait until somebody.
It's not a Beatle.
No, I'd say a Rolling Stone.
He's a Rolling Stone.
Is that Mick?
That's Mick.
Is
Yep.
it Mick?
Yep. That's who I thought of.
It's the mouth, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got a busted lip. Look, he got beat up
Yeah.
at school. He's got a busted lip. That's Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger. Yeah.
Oh,
It's the
Mick.
lips.
The lips. Got the Mick lips. All right.
Hey, I got one.
There's only a couple more.
Oh, God.
It's familiar, and I don't know who was.
Crowbar didn't know that one. What? Crowbar says that's John
Brian
Lennon.
Jones.
Krellbar says that too.
John Lennon.
Anybody else got a guess?
Oh, that is a good guess. Yeah, I might have to go with that. I didn't see it at first. Yep.
Yeah. John
As soon as
Lennon.
you said that, I saw it.
Damn, Crowbar.
Good. Man, it's good. You got to get them on, man. Get them on the show.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
dude.
much
That's
it.
impressive, man. That's
This is an easy one. This one's so easy.
oh, that's Steven Tyler, man.
Oh yeah. that was pretty no.
Between now and the next Livewire show, I will be seeing the boys from Bob.
Hey, I got another one. I got two. I'm on a roll tonight. Hey, and I beat Crowbar on that one.
Look at the lips. Come on.
I know
Yeah,
it's all the lips,
For a
man.
dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Saw an interview with him. Thinks he snorted around $8 million worth of cocaine.
Yeah, Dream On, right? Dream On. Oh wait a minute.
Okay, this is the very last one.
I don't know who that.
Name that. I'm sorry. I apologize. The picture's so small. It's literally the largest one that there is of this person as a young person.
Zoom in. I know who it is. I don't know who it is, but it looks.
Oh, Crowbar says make this a prize one. I don't know who it is either. I've got it.
Railbar doesn't say it is, then this will be the
Oh,
problem.
Mozzie says Courtney Love.
I think he's right.
So Bam Mozzie gets the prize this week. That is
Yep. As soon as he saw that,
about 9 years old.
Wow.
Little Courtney Love.
Show the other one.
I think she had way more talent than her husband too.
Wow.
I was researching for the show this week, and and I had never heard this before. There are people that believe that Courtney Love had Kurt Cobain killed to inherit his money. That she hired a hitman, that he didn't kill himself, that he was murdered.
Well, it hasn't been on 2020 yet, so it can't be true.
No, but apparently that's a rock legend.
Yeah, Mozzie, you were right. So Mozzie, get with Brian, shoot him an email.
Yeah. No, well, what you need to do, Bam, is email the Live Wires Show, all one word, small letters, @gmail.com. Tell us if you want a hat, a beanie, or a mug, and then I'll pass that on to Dave because he's running the stores, and he'll.
Good job.
All right, gang. That pretty much brings us to the end of the show tonight. Thank you so much, Mr. Mitch Haman, for joining us.
Thanks for having me,
Dave. If you would throw Mitch's channel back up, everybody sub to Mitch if you're not already. I'm sure most of you probably are, but if you're not, go ahead and please sub to him. He's a good guitar player, and he's got a lot of this technical information that has helped us out getting online here as the Live Wires, because we kind of followed his path.
Yep.
Yeah.
We sure did.
How to get on here and do all this stuff. So thank you so much, Mitch, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. We hope you had a great time.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
And all of your friends got to learn a little bit more about you tonight, because that's basically what our show's all about. And then the rest of it's just nonsense for fun. Right, Dave?
Yep, that's it, man.
So one announcement to make for next week, gang. There will be an episode 11 next Wednesday night. The time will be around the normal time. It might start a half hour late or 15 minutes late, or because I'm going to be on vacation in Vegas and I have something going on that day, and it might cause us to have to start a little bit late. But I will be broadcasting live from Las Vegas. Dave will possibly have a surprise for us. We're not sure yet. And we've got another cool guest lined up for next week, and it might possibly turn into 2 guests. We're not sure, but we think it will be fun for everybody to tune in. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you all next Wednesday night here on the Live Wires, if you so choose. We appreciate you guys.
Have a good week, guys. We'll see you next week, and take care. Be good to each other. You guys
and how about that guest?
You guys are the reason we're here. Mitch, thanks for being our guest tonight, man. We really appreciate you. Thanks for being a great part of the community, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Everybody else, thanks for hanging in with us all night. And we appreciate you all, and we'll definitely see you next week. As Brian said, time TBA at present, so we'll see how that pans out.
It'll be within 15-30 minutes of the start time, normal start time. But when we get it locked in, you can go on YouTube. So next week when it says episode 11, we'll put in the title, and we'll also put it on the Live Wires Facebook page, which there'll be a link to that, and we'll put the T-Chip and the Teespring links if you want to get a cool shirt. T-Chip prices are really good. Dave's got them all marked down. Like you said, we're making a couple of pennies.
We're making a few beans. Is what
yeah,
we're
we'd
making.
rather you get a shirt and us make 50 cents. And when eventually we get halfway to the point where we can get rid of the duck, then David will kick the other half in and we'll get rid of the duck. So that's the plan, right?
But guys, thanks for coming out. Mitch, did you have any parting words?
No, I just thanks for having me. This community is great, and I really appreciate it. And thanks to all the people in the chat.
Awesome.
Right on, guys.
Next time, gang.
Until next week.
On.
Rock on, guys.
Dudettes. Catch you later.